Hello, everybody. What's my name? Profe Kyle. Exactly. And you see that I have a special guest with me. So you know this has to be an interview with one of my superstars, one of my MVPs, one of my students. And I like to do these both for myself to figure out what I did good, what I did wrong in my classes, and also to show people who are interested in studying with me how the classes work, but not from my perspective, from the perspective of somebody who is just like you. So today, my special guest is Yoli. I could introduce him to you guys, but he's going to do that right now anyway. So first, Yoli, how are you doing?
Oh well, I'm doing good. Um, I'm excited to be here and be one of the VIP students of you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So if anybody's watching this and wondering if Yoli, got questions or something, or I told him what to say, uh, not really. I just told Yoli, hey, I want to do an interview. I sent him a video of one of my past interviews. I said, are you okay with it? And he said, yeah. So Yoli doesn't really know what's going to happen. He's seen the other interviews, but yeah, he's not really prepared for this. It's all going to be spontaneous in the moment. And we're doing this in English because Yoli speaks really good English. And yeah, he was one of my intermediate students. So yeah, he knows how to speak English. He'll do everything in English. I guess if Yoli wants to say something in Spanish, he can go right ahead. All right, well, first, Yoli, let's start with yeah, who are you and where are you from?
Okay. As you say, I'm Jolie. I'm from Honduras, but now I'm living in North Carolina, United States. Since for 4 years. And I'm studying here now. And I'm doing all right. I am in Gringolandia. Like I learn in your classes.
Uh, living the American dream. Yeah, so
Yeah.
oh yeah, so I guess for everybody to know, I don't remember. Do you know how long you studied with me? Was it 1 year, 2 years? How long was
Is
it? Do you remember?
yeah. Was a year?
Yeah, 1 year? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, yeah, okay, so we'll say 1 year. Of course, I have all my attendance sheets of all my students, but I rarely try to calculate how long somebody studies with me, even though maybe I should. Something I should keep track of. But yeah, so Yoli stayed with me for 1 year. Last time I talked to Yoli, yeah, when was the last month that you took classes? Was it like
Yeah.
October,
Kind
September?
of yeah, around August probably
Okay.
because it's when I start school here. So the last fall probably, yeah, around August.
Yeah, something like that. Well, I guess we better tell everybody what you do. Well, so last time I checked up on you, you were working. Was it like a furniture factory that you tell
Yeah.
me, you describe it to me. Where were you working? And
Okay.
you were working there for a long time. How long, or are you still
Yeah.
working there or did you quit?
No, I quit because I'm just focused in study now. So I work Ashley Furniture,
Oh yeah, I know
furniture
actually.
company.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just um I was operator, saw machine, cutting wood for um the first part of the process of build furniture.
What kind of, I never asked you, but yeah, what kind of furniture was it? Was it all types of furniture or was it just
Okay,
tables, just chairs,
most sofas,
sofas?
couch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Couches? Yeah. All right. Yeah. And well, I guess you're thankful that for the job, but I always remembered in classes you weren't the most excited to be working as a saw operator. So are you kind of happy that you could pause work and focus on studying?
Yeah, now it's because I'm trying to get in the MRI technologies program, so I require to take a few classes, and that was the reason that I quit my job now because I had several classes before I can apply for the program. So after that, I think I'm going to look for another job,
Mhm.
part-time maybe, and Yeah, that was the one thing that I quit my job.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, just focus on your studies. Well, because I guess because in Honduras you graduate as a doctor, correct?
yeah,
Was it
yeah.
so graduate as a doctor, was that be undergraduate or master's or PhD? Like how advanced were you in your studies as a doctor?
That is not a master. It's like a bachelor degree.
Okay, yeah. So
It's
like
kind of
bachelor's in
like it,
medicine?
yeah. It's a 4 years program.
Hmm.
It's at that level. It's here in the United States gonna be a bachelor degree, right?
Yeah, yeah, I'm pretty sure, yeah.
So yeah, but they in Honduras you say it's a doctor degree kind of because we study almost 8 years to become a
Oh, so
doctor.
it was so yeah,
Mm,
did
mm,
you study 8 years or how long did you study?
mm, okay, I studied for 10 years because it was the I don't pass the class in the time that they say. So
Oh, okay. So you had to redo some classes?
yeah, I have to repeat classes and
Uh,
so that take more time. But the program is about 8 years to
mhm.
become a doctor.
Yeah. So obviously that's tough for a lot of Latinos to study so much, and then you go to the United States and you can't really. I
And
can't.
and
I can't imagine 10 years. Yeah, 10 years studying, and then you go to the United States, and yeah, you can't work in any sort of medical profession.
yeah, but that was my decision because you can become a doctor here in the United States. It's just I don't want to get in that process to become a
Yeah,
doctor.
because you have to. What is it? You have to redo courses, or is you have to? I think it's. I had other students where, for example, they were dentists in Venezuela, and yeah, they basically have to study like a few more years just to prove that they're dentists or just to show that they know their stuff.
That you have the knowledge. Yeah. Um, the system in the United States is designed in the way that even if that is you graduate or you get a diploma here as a doctor, you have to take several steps uh, to be certificate. So I have to take different tests to demo to
Yeah, demonstrate.
demonstrate that I have that knowledge. After that, I can apply for residency program,
Mhm.
and work as a doctor here. It's just I don't want to do that.
Yeah, because so
Take more
again,
time.
yeah, hypothetically, if you wanted to, and yeah, maybe somebody's interested, hypothetically, how long would it take you to basically, what do you call that, recertify or to requalify as a doctor in the United States?
About just to take the test is about a year. But
Okay.
but I have to prepare before, so that
Hmm.
take like another year just to
Hmm.
prepare
All right. So
for the
about two
test.
years. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, and then you have to do residency. Because did you already do residency in
No,
Honduras or no? Okay.
no, no.
All right. Yeah. So yeah, just for you be like so basically 2 years of yeah,
2 years.
studying, taking the tests. Because the test is it written or do you have to
No,
basically
the
like
first
do doctor stuff?
the first test is just like like a test
Be multiple choice or written?
multiple
Okay, multiple
choice,
choice.
and then
Okay.
the second test is has two part. One is multiple choice, and the other part is they put you 15 cases in the real life.
Hmm.
That can be a real patient, or can be a telephone. By telephone, you have
Okay.
to and you have to interview the patient and make a diagnosis.
Okay. So yeah. So that's 15. You have to basically do 15,
Yeah,
I guess.
and time you have like a 2 hours
Mhm.
It's with time. It with time. You
So
have
like each case is 2 hours, or basically you have to do 15
no
cases in 2 hours.
15 cases in 2 hours.
Wow, that's a lot of cases in two
Yeah,
hours.
and you have to create a report for each patient.
Okay. All right. Yeah, so for you, you didn't want to go through the whole process because now you're studying something related to medicine, but
Yeah,
not as intensive as trying to basically requalify as a doctor in the United States.
right.
Eh, 'cause, of course, I could be wrong. My memory isn't always the best, but I think it was something to do with ambulances. Is that correct, or is it a little bit different?
So what again?
Because yeah, I remember like you studied for a test, and the test was about codes and for ambulances, or
Oh no, that I got the certification for medical coder.
okay, medical caller, yeah. And what you're
Yeah,
doing
that
now, is it related to that,
now
or is it different now?
now it's different thing.
Okay, it's different now, yeah.
Now I'm trying to apply for MRI technologies. The person
Okay,
that
yeah,
that do the MRI.
yeah. So like, well, that'd be X-ray. The X-rays and MRIs, do they put the? Oh, see, I don't know anything about medicine. People always say, "Profe, teach me about medicine vocabulary." I don't know any medicine vocabulary. The MRIs, do they have to put the piece of paper to the light and look at it, or is that just
Yeah,
X-rays?
yeah,
Oh, okay,
no, both,
both.
both,
Okay, yeah.
X-ray, MRI, and the tag is
I did.
tomography. The tomography,
Uh,
they put the I don't know what that's the same the name of that stuff, but
uh,
the
I think
picture the picture
okay.
the image
The image,
in the
yeah.
light.
Okay, yeah, yeah. All right. So, well, I think it's a pretty good job. Again, I don't know anything about medicine, but I've heard that, MRI technologists, they make pretty good money. They make pretty good money.
That's what people say. I don't know.
Yeah, you don't know if it's true yet. Yeah, you have to finish studying
Yeah,
and then applying for jobs to really find out if it's true or not.
you're right.
All right. So, when is this program going to end? Is it like
It's
how long? 1 year
it's it,
or
2 years.
2 years? Okay.
It's 2 years is what I don't know what degree is. Associate. It's an
It's an
associate
associate
degree.
degree, yeah.
Yeah.
Even though I'm gonna interrogate you a little bit because you said you didn't want to do 2 years studying for your medical exam, but you're gonna do 2 years to become a MRI.
Uh okay,
So basically,
there
yeah, what's the difference? Is it easier
okay.
or yeah,
Okay,
why?
the difference is if I get in the program
Uh-huh.
is more secure that I'm going to get the diploma
Look with the
studying
MRI.
every day a lot as an MRI.
Okay.
If I start to study for the get a certification as a doctor, it's
Hmm.
nothing secure that I'm going to pass it the first time.
Okay.
It's not secure that I'm going to if I pass, it's not secure that I'm going to make match with one of the hospital that I apply for
Okay.
the
So yeah.
residency.
Okay.
And the other is if I apply for a residency program and they accept me, they can that could be in New York, that could be in
Oh, okay. So it could be
whatever
anywhere.
place,
Yeah.
anywhere in United States. So I don't want to move to another state now.
Yeah. 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 Exactly. Okay. Makes sense. I just wanted to bust your balls a little bit and make sure that
Yeah,
weren't just, making excuses for yourself. Okay, it makes sense. It
correct,
makes sense.
right.
Yeah, it makes sense. Okay. All right. So when do you think you're gonna finish this program? Because it's 2 years. You've been studying for how long now? 6 months?
Okay, if I get in, if I get in the program, I started
Mhm.
this fall in
Okay.
2025. So by 2027,
Okay.
I'll be
Oh, so you haven't started the MRI program yet. Are you studying for it, or because what are you
I
studying right now?
I get in the prerequisites.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're getting your prerequisites so you can start
Yeah,
the MRI program. Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a long process right there. Okay, so right now you're
is
just
a
doing the prerequisites.
yeah.
Okay. And is it all online or do you have to do in person?
No, there are some classes online and other in person.
Okay.
Also,
All right.
I'm taking C for CNA program too because they require I had to study for CNA. CNA is Certificate Nurses Assistant.
Okay. All right. So, because I always thought nurses were the assistants for doctors, but nurses also have their own assistants. So you got doctors, nurses, and then nurses assistants.
Yeah, and
Oh, Yeah. So then, and then nurses' assistants, maybe they have assistants.
Right.
Just everybody has their own assistant. And that means nobody does any real work. It's always, yeah, just everybody's, my assistant will do it. Not my job. My assistant will do it. All right. Well, so now we know what you're doing in your life right now. Uh, well, and then you're in North Carolina because I know, are you married or in a relationship? I can't remember. It's been a while. Are you
I in
married or
relationship.
in a relationship? So how long have you known your partner for? Like, did you meet your partner in Honduras or was it, I don't
No,
know,
it was in my last job.
your
Work
last
in the
job?
work, yeah. Yeah,
Really? At the Ashley? At the
almost 3 years in a
okay,
relationship.
okay. But yeah, so you met him at the furniture factory
Yeah,
or not? Okay,
yeah.
all right, all right. Is he still working there or does he have a different job?
And now he working another thing.
Oh, okay, all right. All right. Well, that worked out pretty good for you. So I guess now my question is, so how did you end up in North Carolina? Do you have relatives there
Yeah,
or yeah, okay.
I have an uncle. He live here,
Hmm.
so in that way, I knew this place in 2018, and
Oh,
then
okay,
I
so you
come.
visited.
Yeah,
You visited
yeah.
in
And when
2018.
when
Okay.
when when I visited here, like I like this place, so
Yeah,
I
okay.
yeah was looking to live here when I
Hmm. Actually, I
moved.
met like yes, well, since you left the classes, I've had like two or three other students who are living in North Carolina. So it seems like a hot destination right now for immigrants is North Carolina. So I don't know. Well, North Carolina's kind of big because I remember you're like in the middle of North Carolina, right? Because there's the coast and then there's the interior, and you're more in the interior, correct?
Yeah, mostly kind of in the middle.
Yeah. So yeah, tell us. You're a salesman, or maybe you don't want to tell. Maybe you want to tell everybody it sucks here. I don't want any other Latinos here. We're good. We're full. Yeah, I don't. So yeah, maybe just say some
Yeah,
lies like, oh,
there are no
racist
more
or,
there are no
or
more places here for more people. We already it's a crowd here. It's
yeah,
no
it's
places to live. It's expensive too.
it's full. All right, it's full. Nobody else can come. All right. So, but yeah, yeah. Why did you like the place? Why did you fall in love with that part of North Carolina? Is there any specific reason?
Uh, North Carolina, remember me a place in Honduras that is
Okay.
really chill, quiet, have a lot of forest,
Okay.
mountain.
Hmm.
So, and the weather is kind of like that way. It's
Hmm.
not too cold, not but had the four season, right? But when
Yeah.
it's fall season, it's very um not too cold, not too hot.
It's
And
temperate. Yeah.
yeah, so that's what I choose. And we are not so we are close to the mountain. We are not I'm not so far from the beach.
Hmm.
So I'm
Yeah.
fine with that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, North Carolina. I didn't know this until a few years ago, but North Carolina is famous for its beaches. I think North Carolina and South Carolina are famous for its beaches, which I had no idea. I thought,
Yeah, everybody go to the South Carolina has Myrtle Beach, so the most famous to
okay.
go to the beach. But
Hmm.
I never be there. But I like the other beach that I am being here in North Carolina. There are
Hmm.
islands that are
Islands too. Yeah.
kind of like island
Hmm.
close to the coast.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, seems like a nice place to be. So, oh, and which part of Honduras? Can you tell us which part of Honduras? I'll write it down. So if I go to Honduras, I know which place is like North Carolina. Which part of Honduras reminds you of North Carolina?
Santa Rosa de Copa is where
Okay.
the area is it kind of like a little high elevation.
Okay, yeah.
There are mountains close to there,
Hmm.
and it's quiet, and the people is very um kinda. You can walk, and wherever place you go in Copan, Santa Rosa de
Hmm.
Copan, the people is very nice, very like, hey, hello, come in here. Latinos people always they
Hmm.
always I invite you to eat. So that remind me here, plus the mountain and the forest.
Mhm.
Um, yeah.
Right. I like forests. I'm a big forest person. All right. Well, I think that's most of the questions I wanted to ask about your personal life. Oh yeah, so you ended up in Honduras. So because of your uncle. So what like your uncle just said, "Hey Yoli, come and visit 2018. Come visit just for fun." And then you went 2018, you liked it. I'm guessing you went back to Honduras.
Yeah, I went back to Honduras to finish my doctor degree
Yeah.
and then come back. My mom live in Miami. I didn't like
Oh,
I
oh,
don't know.
oh, that's a little Miami's the capital of Latin America. You didn't like Miami?
No,
No?
it's no.
No? Okay. And yeah, well, I'm always curious about that because you're not the first one. I actually have a few students. Like I think I have a Cuban student right now and an Argentine student right now. They both live in Tampa Bay, and they said the same thing. They said, no, I don't want to be in Miami." So, what's your reasoning? Why don't you like Miami?
Because it's not quiet. It's Miami is so busy, disorganized,
Okay.
traffic,
Mhm.
um, and I didn't like that.
Okay. And your mom still lives in Miami?
Yeah.
So, do you visit her like I don't know, once a year, once every
Sometimes
few months? Yeah.
probably once a year, sometime when I
Once a
have
year.
time.
Okay. But does she visit you in North Carolina or no, not that much?
Yeah, she come more than I visit her.
Okay. Okay. So you guys see each other every once in a while. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, you ended up in North Carolina, fell in love with it. Nice, quiet place. I'm sold. All right. Maybe I'll move there one day. Actually, my mom went to North Carolina, I think in like 20, I don't
Yeah,
know.
you told me that in the class
Oh
that
yeah, yeah,
or
yeah, yeah, yeah.
she
Yeah.
visited
And she
Charlotte.
liked it.
That's it.
Yeah, I think yeah, I remember she went to the airport and she was impressed by the rocking chairs. So then there's like giant rocking chairs in the airport. And then yeah, she said that she was traveling around and yeah, she likes the countryside. She liked the forests, just like you said. So yeah, she was very impressed. She was very happy with North Carolina. So it seems like a nice place. People recommend North Carolina all the time. All right. So those are the personal questions. Now let's get to the most important parts about me. Yeah, because everything revolves around me. So, as everybody knows, Yoli was my student for about a year. So, I want to ask him questions about the classes to get his opinion. And then, of course, yeah, if somebody watching this is interested in the classes, well, they able to find out from Yoli if it's worth it or not to study with Profe. So, I guess let's start with yeah, how did you find out about me? Do you remember? Do you remember how you found out about me? Was it through social media or was it a recommendation from somebody?
No, I found you in social media, Instagram,
Okay.
and I start to follow you to watch your videos, your reels, and I find interesting how you explain English, how you teach English, and I one day I started to looking for because I took several courses here in Honduras, here in North Carolina, and I complete all those classes, and I feel like I need to study more conversation, learn something else. So after that, I find you on Instagram, and I say to myself, hey, why not try this Profe?
Yeah, give it a shot. Actually, I never asked this question to somebody, but I'm not, well, I am a professional teacher. I have nice certificates and I have lots of experience, but of course, I don't have like a fancy diploma behind my head whenever I do videos or anything like that. So I'm curious, never asked somebody, uh, did that give you some hesitation? Because of course, like you went to, I'm guessing, courses in United States at, institutes, community colleges, like official places. Were you hesitant to take classes with, just some random professor on social media, or you didn't really have any doubts? You just said, let's just try it out, see if it's any good.
Uh, you know, when you look for learn another language, in this case English, you're looking for someone that can speak the language, right? And because most of the time, for example, when I took classes in Honduras, it was another Honduran teach me English. So in this case, you don't. I think for myself, you don't request like, oh, show me or your degree in teaching or something like that because you believe in the person know the language because it's native in the language. So and the most interesting part in this case was the way how you teach or you explain in the videos.
Hmm.
That is one of the what you what I see in the that
Yeah,
that show me that you know the language and
yeah,
you know how to teach.
yeah. So yeah, it's what pushed you over the edge to take the classes was watching the videos, and he's like, yeah, this guy knows what he's talking about. He explains good. I like how he explains. I want to try it out. Actually, I've had a few students tell me, yeah, because on social media, I think I explain well, as you seem to admit. At the same time, some people say, uh, I remember one my previous student, she told me that you seem kind of like an asshole. So, I was a bit scared to take class with you at first because, yeah, sometimes on social media, you kind of seem like an asshole. I don't know, just from your own perspective, did you think I was an asshole or just think I was a normal guy? Do you have any impressions about me before you started the classes?
No, before no.
No?
I don't think that I have a bad a preconcept about you.
Yeah, 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 preconceptions, yeah. No preconceptions. Okay. I was just curious. 'Cause, yeah, sometimes people say, yeah, you're kind of scary. I was kind of scared to take classes. You kind of seem like a scary guy. So, my apologies. I wasn't trying to be scary. All right, so you found out about me on Instagram
Sorry.
Reels. So, yeah, you took a whole bunch of courses uh, at different places, and you wanted to keep on improving your English. So, what was the biggest thing, like before you started taking classes with me, what was the biggest thing that was frustrating you about your English? Was it pronunciation? Was it reading? Was it writing? Like, in general, what was frustrating you the most about your English?
For me, pronunciation and conversation.
Mhm.
That
Two
was
biggest.
the biggest thing, yeah. Because reading for me was easier, and okay, yeah, I don't know if you're gonna ask me, but I'm going to respond now. I'm
Oh,
going to my favorite part of your class was writing.
oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Writing,
oh, yeah,
writing, writing was my favorite part because
yeah.
sometimes we only think about it listening, understanding someone talk to you, and if the pronunciation and talking. But we forgot always about writing English. Is That's gonna like it's an art
Mhm.
to write in English. It's
I
not
like it.
easy.
Yeah, yeah, I like that. Okay, yeah, but we're gonna talk about more in a little bit. We don't. That's foreshadowing. Anybody watching this is foreshadowing. You're always gonna talk about writing in a bit. All right. So, but at the same time, when you first started, your biggest thing was conversation
It's
and
conversation.
pronunciation. All right. So, yeah, I'm guessing those are the two things you want to improve the most as well as conversation and pronunciation. Okay. So, you decide take the classes with me. Always like to know from students because I've had different perspectives from different students. Well, the first month of classes, because my classes are different. Many teachers will say their classes are different, and then you end up just doing the same grammar that you do in every other institute. So I think for me, my classes are completely different. So how was it for you? Was it with my methodology? Was it overwhelming that first month? Was it easy to understand? Did you pick it up right away? Or yeah, were you struggling and feeling a bit lost that first month?
Um, yeah, the first one was okay. Even the first class was like, oh no, I don't know, I don't know what to expect. I don't know how is it gonna be. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to interact with other uh, people, the methodology about because sometimes you get comfortable with your teacher to talk, but we don't feel comfortable talking with other people around. So, but in the beginning was my fears, I can say, or
Yeah.
that I didn't know. And but then it was easy to follow the methodology, what is coming, how's your what about the classes? Um, yeah.
So yeah, it didn't take you too long. So I don't know, how long would you say it took you to get comfortable with the classes? You know, was it like 1 week, like yeah, two classes you were good, or was it you needed like 1 month
Uh,
to fully get comfortable?
after the 3 months, because
Hmm.
then after you know what is about each week,
Hmm.
so then you know what is coming and you're mentally prepared for the class.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because s- it was, yeah, with my meth, well, with the group classes that I do with you guys, yeah. So you got the first class story, second class, what was it? Yeah, pronunciation. Third class
Pronunciation,
presentation. Fourth class speaking. Fifth class was dialogue. Sixth class was music. Seventh class
music,
was
karaoke.
writing, and then the last class was the group exam. So yeah, that first month, I think, for all the new students is, yeah, each class is completely different. So it's kind of a shock each class. But then
Yeah.
after that first month, you're like, okay, this class, okay, we're doing
Even for
this.
the test, you don't know what to expect in the test, so
Mm.
it's kind of like getting anxious. Is I going to pass the test or no?
Yeah. Well, well, maybe so the group exam, because many new students they take the first month I say, oh, last class of the month, group exam, and people, what? So,
I
and
think I took a notes
uh
and I don't know and you know.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, in case somebody's watching this, you don't. The group exam isn't like a traditional exam where if you don't pass, I kick you out of the group. Oh,
Right.
that'd be that wouldn't be very good for me if I was kicking out students. I wouldn't. Yeah, probably wouldn't make as much money if I was kicking out students just because they failed an exam. All right. So first month a little bit overwhelming. At the
Yeah.
same time, you got used to it, and after the first month, it was smooth
So it's
sailing.
yeah,
After that.
easy and
Mhm. Well, now we can talk about your favorite class, which in a way was surprising because for most students, it's not the favorite class. So I was happy. I was happy that Yoli was the only student who liked the class. So as Yoli said, his favorite class was writing. So let's talk about that. I always told you guys in classes that writing is important because in gringo culture, it's how we judge people. Is if you write well, it's like, oh, this guy is very educated. If you don't write well, we think, oh, this guy never graduated from high school. That's my simple explanation of why writing is important. Of course, for every person, it's a little bit different. So in your case, you told us right now that pronunciation and conversation was the most important. So, what made you realize that writing was important? Or was it something in the class? Did it take you a few months to realize the writing was important? Because I'm curious, because yeah, you seem to fall in love with the writing class and you're one of the few people who did. So, why? Why do you think writing is important and how did you realize it?
because okay, reading when you use the to read is kind of like easy under, understand when you're reading, understand when you listening sometime or pronunciation because pronunciation is important, but most people can understand you even if you know your pronunciation is correct. But when it's writing, there are a lot of things that you have to follow or um, keep in mind when you're going to write. Because, like you say, in America, it's very simple as we in Latin America we write. So in English, um, was challenge to me because try to put all my ideas that I have in Spanish to translate to in English and put in English word was a challenge. And most of the time, I didn't know how to write and how to keep simple to write simple. Like you
Yeah,
say,
yeah, yeah.
kids
Keep it
keep
simple, Stu. Yeah,
things.
keep it.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
in that way, because um, I always say in Spanish you put a lot of word. In English, you synthesize
Mhm. Yes.
what you're trying to
Mhm.
say.
Yeah. Mhm.
And what's a challenge for me every time that I had the class was writing, challenge to me to put a main idea and then put a different example was was hard. And
Yeah.
I think it's because I like the challenge. It's my favorite class.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Because for most students, the writing class is the most challenging class. And I think, yeah, it's challenging because just like you said, uh, it's difficult to synthesize ideas. And yeah, one, in gringo culture, it's very important. Yeah, a story from a few weeks ago, I was messaging my sister on my phone. And yeah, my girlfriend, yeah, she's Latina. And so I basically just in 4 sentences, I told my sister everything basically about my life and what I needed. I just said, Chelsea, everything is good here. I hope that you're doing well. I need you to do this at home. And I was like, so 4 sentences, everything done. My girlfriend said, well, it's impressive how succinct and straight to the point gringos are because for Latinos, it's going to be a 2-minute voice note. Oh, hey, Yoli, yeah, I hope you're having a good day. Yeah, I hope everything is well. Yes, it's Sunday, so hope you're having fun on Sunday. Just like go on and on about a whole bunch of stuff, and then yeah, don't really know.
Yeah, and
What are you trying to tell?
for example, yesterday with my boyfriend, we went to the ATM to take money, and I have the ATM in Spanish. But say, al final, at the end, the ATM say, toma tu dinero en efectivo. Long sentence. I say, why they put all these letters when you only can say in English you say take your money
Hmm.
or take your
Yeah, yeah,
cash. In
yeah, yeah,
Spanish is toma tu dinero en efectivo. So put all these my ideas when you put the exercise to writing that was really hard. And now that I'm studying, I took English class here writing, and what a challenge to me, like how to write and everything that you taught me in the class was good because I learned because when I have to write in my classes, here they say put a main idea and then different example to justify my main idea. So and then put a conclusion, and all that was a part of your class.
yeah, 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 exactly. So I learned that in high school, and then of course I had to do the same thing in university. But yeah, something that is used in all universities in Canada, United States is the main idea, proof, conclusion.
Conclusion.
So yeah, if you for anybody who's in the United States who's an immigrant, for example, and they never really done that in university in their own country, that's definitely a big challenge is learning how to basically synthesize ideas. And yeah, you were talking about Latinos like to use many words. So when Yoli was saying many words, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's happened to Yoli, happens to almost all the students. I call it the Latino sentence where it's just blah 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 comma blah 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 comma blah 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 comma blah 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 comma. And yeah, so that's one I think the main things that Yoli learned right away within the first few months
And
was
that's the other thing that in Spanish we use a lot of comma, punto, period, and comma, semicolon, colon. And in
yeah,
English,
yeah.
in English, no. In English, you use sentence, or if you want to put two sentence, when you use the conjunction and
Hmm.
but and
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
exactly. So,
different.
so it's like I have to train the students. Yeah, more periods, more periods. Give me more periods. So yeah, I know with Yoli, I had to teach him right away. Okay, just give me a shorter sentence. You don't always have to be a really long sentence. Give me some shorter
Yeah.
sentences. Gringos will appreciate it. Yeah, because gringos really, really don't like long sentences. It makes us angry when we get a really long sentence without any periods. So you gotta
Give me the
try.
point. Give me the point now.
Get straight to the yeah, exactly. Get straight to the point. Gringos are very get straight to the point. Don't waste my time. Straight to the point, please. All right. So I was talking about writing, and so you took about a year of classes with me. So what improved the most in your opinion? Was it writing? Was it pronunciation? Because yeah, you weren't expecting to get better at writing in the classes, but you did.
Yeah, I didn't mistake.
So is that what improved the most was writing, or would you say something
No,
else?
uh, I learned about how and when you talk in English, how to put together different words.
Mhm. Yeah.
That is challenge another challenge too because like in Spanish, you know that you have to pronounce every syllable, every word. In English, you have to connect sometimes and learn that and how to say that. And not only how to say, how to listen and um, teach your ear when someone else talking about speaking uh, talking with you, you can understand because they are not going to say each word when they talk.
No. Yeah. Yeah. I think most people when they learn a language, they wish, and I include myself with Latinos, I I hope that they speak nice and slow for me, but the reality is that most people they have more important things to do in their day than to help some gringo, some Latino try to understand better English or Spanish. So yeah, you have to be ready to listen. And most students that take the classes, they talk about how learning how we connect words together, how we reduce sounds, helps them to
Contraction.
contractions helps them to finally begin to listen well in English. Because yeah, for many people to go to the United States or Canada and they're not used to listening to gringos and whew, it's a shock. It's a shock trying to
Yeah.
listen to a gringo speaking at full speed, no stopping, no pauses. Yeah, you gotta be ready for that. Because with my methodology, it's it works on a whole bunch of things at the same time. So I think in your case, yeah, you improved writing, you improved listening, you improved pronunciation, you improved conversation, because it's not a methodology which focuses on just one aspect. It focuses on everything in conjunction. So yeah, students get better at everything.
I can say you your classes teach you how you're going to be in the real life with American people talk to you. That's a good thing because you're not going to talk every day um with Latino or can say with people that because I most of the people talk like how you teach like really fast. Nobody's going to talk like slow, easy. That's not the big reality. People are going to talk to you really fast and short with a lot of contraction. They're not going to say I would to like. They're going to say I like.
Mhm.
Uh, so that's the that's a good thing. Like in your classes, that's what you're going to learn.
Well, I'm, I'm curious because students have told me, different moments during the classes in real life where they talk to somebody and they realize that they're improving. So maybe you don't, maybe you do, but was there ever a moment like while you were taking the classes or maybe after the classes right now where you're talking to somebody and you realize, oh, like I've improved my English a lot with the classes. Any particular stories where you realize, oh, like I improved quite a bit with the classes.
Uh, I can say during the class and after class, yeah, every time that talk, I can talk with someone in English. I can get in more that part of the conversation with someone. When understand when they say it's an example when I will be right back. I will be right back. When when in the beginning when I hear that, I always try to figure out what they're trying to say, what the people trying to say, because it doesn't make sense for me just to say I'll be right back. And when I had to take my time to put that word in my phone or write that, say I in a, say I will be right back. And they never say I will. They say I'll be right back. So that part in the real life, and I hear that in my job every time when I have a problem and the mechanic have to leave the area and come back to try to figure out what the problem with the machine was. I always say I'll be right back, and they only leave. I understand that because but in my mind I need to know what it mean each word, because it doesn't make sense for me in the beginning. But yeah, that's a huge example that I have. Or when they ask you, um, how are you? They don't say sometimes how are you. They don't say how are you, right? So in when you know only like the right or the correct way to talk, you waiting the other person say how are you, and they never going to say that.
Yeah. Well,
You never
yeah.
go, it's not you never, but it's not usually that you are going to hear that.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think because, yeah, a lot of Latinos in Latin America, because I'm not saying what you said was wrong, but yeah, I get lots of students will say like, yeah, they taught me the correct way to pronounce. It's like they told you it was the correct way to pronounce, but I'm telling you right
But
now,
sound,
yeah, it's like no gringo has ever learned to pronounce like that. So yeah, for gringos, like that is not the correct way to pronounce. This is how we speak. So
yeah.
you gotta be ready for it. So yeah, I think probably the biggest change for you and for many students is, they go from being lost in conversation to being able to participate in conversations and understand conversations and not feel like an outsider, not feel nervous, not feel dumb. Just, oh, I can now understand what people are telling me. All right. We're getting close to the end here. Next question I want to ask you is, because people lately, not as much, but in the past, I always got this question. So I always like to ask my students. It's not an easy question. People always ask me, how is my methodology? And my methodology is kind of confusing, even for me. I like my methodology, but to try to say what my methodology is in a few words is very difficult. So pressure is on you, Yoli. How would you, maybe have a cousin? Let's say you have a cousin on Honduras, and they say, hey, you really recommend this Profe Kyle guy. So tell me, Yoli, how is his methodology? So if you had to tell your cousin how my methodology is, how would you describe it?
I can describe it as practical. Uh, it's practical because you the the program has different focus in the four things that you need to learn about language, pronunciation, um, writing, speaking, and listening. And you put situations that are real life, and it's practical because you use practical things. Listen a song, read a history or a conversation, and this is the way I think that you can learn another language. Not only getting a book, reading a book, and they teach you basic stuff that is necessary, but the the practical things you get in your classes?
Yeah,
Vocabulary.
yeah, I like that. I like practice. I think you're the first one who said that, and I like that. It's a practical methodology. It's about learning English, a practical English that you can use in real life.
Real life.
Hey, yeah, you talked about vocabulary. Yeah, where do you think you learn vocabulary the most in the classes? Would you say you learn more vocabulary from the stories or the dialogue or the presentations, or would you say that you learn vocabulary from every class?
I think that dialogue when the in your your history that you create in that way is when you're getting a lot of vocabulary.
Yeah, yeah, the stories. Yeah, I yeah.
Yeah,
That's my plan usually. So usually
yeah, it's
story
a lot of
class, dialogue class is where I plan to give you guys the most vocabulary. Those two classes, because yeah, vocabulary is important too. If you don't understand the vocabulary the person is saying, then you're going to be lost in the conversation as well. All right, that's good. I like that description. I'm gonna have to use that in the future. It's a practical methodology. Now, I have a big ego, but at the same time, I got to be a humble teacher. So I have to ask the question, even if it might hurt my feelings. So Yoli, i- if is there anything that you would change about the class? Would you change anything about the classes? Is there something that you didn't like about the classes, or is there something that you think I could improve in the classes? Any opinions about that?
the I think that you can add more time or another class about that kind of thing, the pronunciation, how to connect words when you
Hmm.
talk. That's a good thing. I think only one class or only how to read one sentence
Hmm.
is not enough
Yeah.
to practice that thing to because that helped you to that I can sound more American when I
Yeah,
talk.
yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah, so more pronunciation. So you think it'd be
Yeah,
even better if yeah, students get even more pronunciation
yeah,
practice
because
and instruction.
I remember one class that you teach about how to sound with because sometimes you teach me that my English is better when I talk because my voice come more from
Hmm.
here
Yeah.
than here and more American talk with that part. I think that
Yeah,
you
I was
say
teaching about oral posture, but I think I remember telling you because you're lucky because you have a very natural low voice, which is good in the United States because yeah, Americans, Canadians in general speak lower on the voice register, whereas with many Latinos, they'll speak with a higher tone
uh
of voice. So yeah, I always told you that you're lucky because you're one of the few Latinos which has a more uh, a lower tone of voice, which is good for Americans. Yeah, because many Latinos will speak more in the mouth,
no.
and yeah, you want to have a more open throat and a lower voice. Like if you want to sound more American, of course, you don't have to sound American, but if you want to sound
Yeah,
more American, you want to have a lower voice, more open throat, right?
yeah, but it's good when you know that and how to talk in short thing
Yeah,
connection.
how to link the
Yeah,
words together and how to reduce
yeah, because
sounds,
that help
fractions. Yeah,
to understand when someone
yeah,
else talk to you,
mhm,
speak to you, and when you have to say something.
yeah, yeah, exactly. All right, it's good. And I think the last question I have for you is, yeah, who is there a specific person that these classes would work for the most? Like, who would you recommend these classes to? And I don't know, is there anybody who shouldn't take these classes? Is there somebody who would say they shouldn't take the classes because they're not going to like them, it's not going to work for them? So yeah, who would you recommend the classes to, and who wouldn't you recommend the classes to?
I recommend the class for someone that have the intention to learn English. And but yeah, because sometimes um you I think I when I be in your classes, I realize that there are so many people that they want to learn English, but they don't want the someone correct
Mhm,
or say, hey, can you do this in this way because it's better, some better. People they don't want that.
mhm,
People they don't want the professor say you're good even if they're not good, or
mhm,
they're right even when they're not right.
mhm,
People that going to accept correction and to improve the how they talk or how what they know about English.
mhm.
This course is for that kind of people
Yeah.
that they want to learn and be corrected.
Yeah, for sure.
Wh-
Yeah, it's a good point. And I don't try to be mean. Well, even though, well, for the writing classes, yeah, there was the joke between you and Angel was always, "Oh, you're
They are,
gonna get
they are
destroyed." But yeah, yeah,
destroyed.
yeah. But yeah, so I give. So if anybody's interested in the classes, I give corrections. I'm honest. I tell people if at the
And,
same time
and,
I'm not mean. I don't tell anybody, "Oh, that
and
sucks."
it's not only in the writing class. It's correct.
Yeah.
You say, hey, you can say better in this way. When
Mhm,
it's the pronunciation class, you say, can you repeat again? Can you say it
mhm,
this way? Can you repeat again? Can you
mhm,
sound a little low?
mhm.
Don't because I remember the in the beginning you said to me, Jolie, you sound like a robot.
Yeah, yeah, like a robot. Yeah, yeah,
Because when I read very plain, like no emotion when I
yeah.
reading. So the how to read. There are
Mhm,
people that sometimes I know that I when I reading it's just flat, like no
mhm,
emotion, no up and no down, boy. So and probably people they don't like that
mhm.
to hear
Yeah.
that. Like, oh, you sound like robot. Or,
Mhm. Yeah. So classes for people who can take constructive criticism. And yeah, I try to make sure it's constructive criticism. I don't try to make people, feel like shit
feel
because
not right. But
yeah.
it's depending on how people they
Mhm,
take
yeah.
the
Mhm. So yes, if you're somebody who takes criticism too seriously, too personally, then yeah, probably the classes aren't a good idea for you. But yeah, luckily, I think most of the students that have taken my classes have been able to take criticism, which is good because I'm always scared about that. I'm always scared that I'm going to get a message from somebody pissed off. But so far, doing this for a long time, since 2018, and nobody has, sent me an angry message or an angry email saying that I'm a
uh,
horrible, I'm horrible for giving criticism. So, but I think it's a good point. If you take things too personally, don't take the classes
yeah.
because yes, especially because I like to make fun of cultural differences too. So if
And yeah, and people they don't know you how you are or
mm,
how you teach. They're going to feel like, who is this teacher?
who does he think he is
Hey,
talking like that? Yeah, yeah. Huh. You have to get used to me, but at the same time, if you get used to me, you should be able to learn some English, hopefully.
yeah.
All right. Well, Yoel, I think that's about everything I wanted to ask you. Is there anything else? Anything else that I didn't ask you, or anything else you want to add about the classes that people should know?
Oh well, I can say Profe Kyle is is a good teacher. Is it's a good program. You can um learn a lot with you. Pronunciation, writing, vocabulary. It's it's a good methodology that I never been a methodology like this, for example. They're always teaching around the same things. Grammar is not is important, but it's not the big things. If you know grammar in Spanish, for example, you must gonna understand grammar in English. It's not huge different. English is more pronunciation and sounds, phonics
Yeah, for
than
sure.
another
Yeah.
thing.
All right. Good. All right. Well, yeah, Yoli, thanks for talking about the class with me. And yeah, I wish you luck with the MRI. program. You know, you're doing prerequisites right now. So
Yeah,
still, so you said in August or next fall. You said next fall is when
yeah.
you're gonna, if everything goes according to plan, next fall you'll begin the MRI specialist program.
Yeah.
All right, good.
Uh-huh.
Well, yeah, Yoli, I wish you luck. And of course, Yoli, you already know if you ever need any help, have any questions about English, just send me a message. And for everybody who's watching this, until the very end, well, thanks for your patience. Thanks for watching all this. And for information about the classes we were talking about, go to profekyle.com. So, everybody, have a great night. Yoli, thanks again.
Have a good night.
And
Thank
hopefully,
you.
I'll see you soon. Bye, Yoli.
Okay, bye.